Welcome back to Footnotes and Folly, and to Much Ado About Nothing. I am Pemberton. This is part 2, and it gives us the 2 finest eavesdropping scenes ever written. The prince's friends arrange for Benedick to overhear them saying that Beatrice is secretly dying of love for him, and the proud bachelor, who has sworn 1,000 times never to marry, melts on the spot. Then the ladies do exactly the same to Beatrice. It is comedy of the highest order. 2 clever people, each too proud to speak first, tricked into honesty by their friends. But against this unlit silliness, the malcontent Don John sets a cruel trap, arranging for Claudio to see, through a window at night, what looks like Hero being unfaithful on the very eve of her wedding. The same play holds the lightest and the darkest of things. Let us go on.
Don John and Horatio enter another room in Leonato's house. So it is true, Count Claudio is to marry Leonato's daughter. Yes, my lord, but I can ruin it. Any obstacle, any crossing, any impediment would be medicine to me. I am sick with anger at him, and anything that cuts across his happiness falls exactly in line with mine. How can you spoil this marriage? Not honestly, my lord, but so secretly that no dishonesty will seem to come from me. Tell me briefly how. I think I told your lordship a year ago how much favor I have with Margaret, the gentlewoman who attends Hero. I remember. At any improper hour of the night I can arrange for her to look out from her lady's chamber window. And what life is there in that enough to be the death of this marriage? Poison lies in you if you know how to mix it. Go to the prince your brother. Do not hesitate to tell him he has injured his honor by arranging for the celebrated Claudio, whose reputation you hold so high, to marry a tainted cast-off such as Hero. What proof can I give of that? Proof enough to deceive the prince, torment Claudio, undo Hero, and kill Leonato with grief. Could you hope for any better outcome? Only to spite them, I would attempt anything. Then go. Find a suitable hour to draw Don Pedro and Count Claudio aside alone. Tell them you know Hero loves me. Pretend it comes from loyal concern for both the prince and Claudio, for love of your brother's honor, since he arranged the match, and for his friend's reputation, since he is about to be cheated by the appearance of a virgin. Say that is why you have revealed it. They will hardly believe you without a test, so offer them examples that will look as convincing as this. They shall see me at her chamber window, hear me call Margaret by the name Hero, and hear Margaret call me Claudio. Bring them to see it on the very night before the intended wedding. Meanwhile, I will arrange matters so that Hero is absent, and there will appear such a convincing show of Hero's disloyalty that jealousy will be taken for certainty, and all the wedding preparations will be overthrown. Whatever harmful outcome this grows into, I will put it into practice. Be clever in carrying it out, and your reward is 1,000 ducats. You stay firm in the accusation, and my cleverness will not disgrace me. I will go at once and find out the day of their marriage. They exit. Benedick enters Leonato's garden and calls for a boy. The boy enters. Boy. Sir? There is a book lying in my chamber window. Bring it here to me in the orchard. I am here already, sir. I know that. But I want you gone and then back here again. The boy exits. I am truly amazed that a man, after seeing what a fool another man becomes when he gives himself over to love, and after laughing at such shallow follies in others, will then become the very target of his own mockery by falling in love himself. And such a man is Claudio. I remember when the only music he cared for was the drum and fife. Now he would rather hear the tabor and pipe. I remember when he would walk 10 miles on foot to see a fine suit of armor. Now he lies awake 10 nights in a row designing the cut of a new doublet. He used to speak plainly and to the point, like an honest man and a soldier. Now he has turned into a spelling book. His words are a fantastical banquet, nothing but strange dishes. Could I ever be changed like that and see it with these very eyes? I cannot say. I think not. I will not swear that love could not transform me into an oyster, but I will swear this: until love has made an oyster of me, it shall never make me such a fool. One woman is beautiful, and still I am well enough. Another is wise, and still I am well enough. Another is virtuous, and still I am well enough. But until all graces are gathered into one woman, no woman shall come into my favor. She must be rich, that is certain. Wise, or I will have none of her. Virtuous, or I will not even bargain for her. Beautiful, or I will never look at her. Gentle, or she must not come near me. Noble, or I would not take her for an angel. Good in conversation, an excellent musician, and as for her hair, it may be whatever color God pleases. Ha! The prince and Monsieur Love. I will hide myself in the arbor. Benedick withdraws. Don Pedro, Leonato, and Claudio enter, followed by Balthasar and musicians. Come, shall we hear this music? Yes, my good lord. How still the evening is, as if it had hushed itself on purpose to honor harmony. Do you see where Benedick has hidden himself? Oh, very well, my lord. When the music is over, we will give the young fox his penny's worth. Come, Balthasar, let us hear that song again. Oh, good my lord, do not force so poor a voice to slander music more than once. It is always the mark of excellence to pretend one's own perfection is strange or poor. Please sing, and let me plead no longer. Since you speak of pleading in love, I will sing. Many a suitor begins his courtship to a woman he thinks unworthy, and yet he courts her, and yet he will swear he loves her. No, please come. Or if you must argue longer, do it in notes. Then note this before my notes. There is not a note of mine worth noting. Why, these are little fancies he speaks, notes, notes, indeed, and nothing. Music begins. Now divine air. Now his soul is carried away. Is it not strange that sheep's guts should pull souls out of men's bodies? Well, when all is done, give me a horn for my money. Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Men have always been deceivers, one foot at sea and one on shore, never faithful to one thing. So do not sigh so, let them go, and be cheerful and lovely, turning all your sounds of sorrow into hey nani nani. Sing no more songs, sing no more of grief so dull and heavy. The deceit of men has always been so, since summer first had leaves. So do not sigh so, let them go, and be cheerful and lovely, turning all your sounds of sorrow into hey nani nani. By my faith, a good song. And a bad singer, my lord? Ha, no, no, truly, you sing well enough in a pinch. If he had been a dog howling like that, they would have hanged him. I pray God his bad voice does not foretell some mischief. I would just as soon have heard the night raven, whatever plague might have followed. Yes, indeed. Do you hear, Balthasar? Please get us some excellent music, for tomorrow night we would have it at Lady Hero's chamber window. The best I can, my lord. Do so. Farewell. Balthasar and the musicians exit. Come here, Leonardo. What was it you told me today, that your niece Beatrice is in love with Signor Benedick? Oh yes. Stalk on, the bird is sitting. I never thought the lady would have loved any man. No, nor I either. But the most wonderful thing is that she should be so madly in love with Signor Benedick, whom in all outward behavior she has always seemed to detest. Is it possible? Does the wind blow from that corner? By my faith, my lord, I do not know what to think of it except that she loves him with a furious affection. It is beyond all measure of thought. Perhaps she is only pretending. Faith, that is likely enough. Oh God, pretending. No imitation of passion ever came so close to the living truth of passion as what she shows. Why, what signs of passion does she show? Bait the hook well, this fish will bite. What signs, my lord? She will sit there, you heard my daughter tell you how. She did indeed. How, I beg you. You amaze me. I would have thought her spirit was unconquerable against all assaults of affection. I would have sworn it was, my lord, especially against Benedick. I would think this was a trick, except that the white, bearded man says it. Surely villainy cannot hide itself under such venerable looks. He has caught the infection. Keep it up. Has she made her affection known to Benedick? No, and she swears she never will. That is her torment. It is true indeed, so your daughter says. Shall I, she says, who have so often met him with scorn, write to him that I love him? This is what she says when she has begun to write to him, for she will be up 20 times in a night, and there she will sit in her shift until she has written a whole sheet of paper. My daughter tells us everything. Now that you mention a sheet of paper, I remember a pretty joke your daughter told us. Oh, when she had written it, and was reading it over, she found Benedick and Beatrice together on the sheet. That one. Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 pieces, railing at herself for being so immodest as to write to a man she knew would mock her. I judge him by my own spirit, she says, for I would mock him if he wrote to me. Yes, though I loved him, I would. Then down on her knees she falls, weeping, sobbing, beating her breast, tearing her hair, praying, cursing, Oh, sweet Benedick! God give me patience! She does indeed. My daughter says so. And the frenzy has so overwhelmed her that my daughter is sometimes afraid she will do some desperate violence to herself. It is very true. It would be good if Benedick learned of it from someone else, since she will not reveal it. To what end? He would only make sport of it, and torment the poor lady worse. If he did, it would be charity to hang him. She is an excellent, sweet lady, and beyond all suspicion she is virtuous. And she is exceedingly wise. In everything except loving Benedick. Oh, my lord, when wisdom and blood fight in so tender a body, the odds are 10 to 1 that blood wins the victory. I am sorry for her, as I have good cause to be, being her uncle and her guardian. I wish she had placed this infatuation on me. I would have cast aside all other concerns, and made her half of myself. Please tell Benedick of it, and hear what he will say. Do you think that would be good? Hero is certain she will die, for she says she will die if he does not love her, and she will die before she makes her love known, and she will die if he courts her rather than give up one breath of her usual sharpness. She does well. If she were to offer him her love openly, it is very possible he would mock it, because the man, as you all know, has a scornful spirit. He is a very handsome man. He does indeed have a fortunate appearance. Before God, and to my mind, very wise. He does show certain sparks that resemble wit. And I believe him to be brave. As brave as Hector, I assure you. And in the handling of quarrels, you may call him wise, because either he avoids them with great discretion, or enters into them with the most Christian fear. If he fears God, he must necessarily keep the peace. If he breaks the peace, he ought to enter a quarrel with fear and trembling. And so he will, for the man does fear God, whatever may seem otherwise from the broad jokes he sometimes makes. Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go find Benedick and tell him of her love? Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out by taking good advice. No, that is impossible. She may wear out her heart first. Well, we will hear more of it from your daughter. Let the matter cool for now. I love Benedick well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself and see how unworthy he is of so good a lady. My lord, will you walk with me? Dinner is ready. If he does not fall madly in love with her after this, I will never trust my expectations again. Let the same net be spread for her. Your daughter and her gentlewoman must manage that. The fun will be when each of them believes the other is hopelessly in love, and there is no such thing. That is the scene I want to see, though it will be nothing but a dumb show. Let us send her to call him into dinner. Don Pedro, Claudio, and Leonardo leave. This cannot be a trick. Their conversation was carried on seriously. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affection is fully fixed on me. Love me? Why, then it must be answered. I hear how they judge me. They say I will behave proudly if I learn the love comes from her. They also say she would rather die than show any sign of affection. I never thought to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are those who hear their faults spoken of and can set about mending them. They say the lady is beautiful. That is true, and I can testify to it. And virtuous, that is so, and I cannot deny it. And wise, except for loving me. By my faith, that adds nothing to her wisdom, nor is it a great proof of her folly, because I will be terribly in love with her. I may perhaps have some odd jests and scraps of wit thrown at me, because I have railed so long against marriage. But does appetite not change? A man likes food in his youth that he cannot bear in his age. Shall jokes, sayings, and these paper bullets of the brain frighten a man away from following his own desire? No. The world must be populated. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I would live until I was married. Here comes Beatrice. By this daylight, she is a fair lady. I can see some signs of love in her. Beatrice enters. Against my will, I have been sent to tell you to come into dinner. Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your trouble. I took no more trouble for those thanks than you took in thanking me. If it had been troublesome, I would not have come. Then you take pleasure in delivering the message? Yes, just as much as you could fit on the point of a knife and choke a jackdaw with. You have no appetite, Signor. Farewell. Beatrice leaves. Ha! Against my will I have been sent to tell you to come into dinner. There is a double meaning in that. I took no more trouble for those thanks than you took in thanking me. That is as much as to say any trouble I take for you is as easy as thanks. If I do not pity her, I am a villain. If I do not love her, I am hard-hearted. I will go get her portrait. Benedick leaves. Hero enters Leonardo's garden with Margaret and Ursula. Could Margaret run to the parlor? Though you will find my cousin Beatrice talking with the prince and Claudio. Whisper in her ear and tell her that Ursula and I are walking in the orchard, and that everything we are saying is about her. Say you overheard us, and tell her to slip into the woven bower, where honeysuckles, ripened by the sun, block the sun from entering, like favorites made proud by princes, who turn their pride against the very power that raised them. She will hide there to listen to our conversation. That is your task. Do it well, and leave us alone. I will make her come at once, I promise you. Margaret exits. Now Ursula, when Beatrice comes, as we walk up and down this path, our talk must be only about Benedick. When I name him, your part is to praise him more than any man ever deserved. I must tell you how Benedick is sick with love for Beatrice. Little Cupid's crafty arrow is made of this sort of thing. It wounds only by hearsay. Beatrice enters behind them. Now begin. Look, there is Beatrice running close to the ground like a lapwing trying to hear our conference. The most pleasant fishing is to watch the fish cut through the silver stream with her golden fins, and greedily swallow the treacherous bait. That is how we fish for Beatrice, who is even now crouched under the honeysuckle covering. Do not worry about my part in the dialogue. Then let us go near her, so her ear misses none of the false, sweet bait we are setting for it. They move toward the bower. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirit is as shy and wild as a hawk from the cliffs. But are you sure Benedick loves Beatrice so completely? So the prince says, and so says my newly betrothed lord. And did they ask you to tell her of it, madam? They begged me to make her aware of it. But I persuaded them, if they loved Benedick, to wish him to wrestle with his feelings and never let Beatrice know about them. Why did you do that? Does the gentleman not deserve as happy and honorable a marriage bed as any Beatrice shall ever lie on? O God of love, I know he deserves as much as any man may be given. But nature never shaped a woman's heart from prouder material than Beatrice's. Disdain and scorn sparkle in her eyes, belittling whatever they look upon, and her wit values itself so highly that everything else seems weak to her. She cannot love nor take on any form or plan of affection. She is so in love with herself. Indeed, I think so too. Therefore, it would certainly not be good for her to know of his love, in case she made sport of it. Why, you speak the truth. I have never yet seen a man, however wise, noble, young, or handsomely made, whom she would not turn inside out. If he were fair-faced, she would swear the gentleman ought to be her sister. If dark, she would say nature, while sketching a grotesque figure, had made an ugly blot. If tall, he was a badly-headed lance. If short, a little jewel badly cut. If talkative, a weather vane blown by every wind. If silent, a block moved by none. So she turns every man the wrong side out, and never gives truth and virtue the credit that plain goodness and merit have earned. Surely, surely such fault-finding is not commendable. No. To be so strange and so outside all proper manners as Beatrice's cannot be commendable. But who dares tell her so? If I spoke, she would mock me into nothing. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself and press me to death with wit. Therefore let Benedick, like a covered fire, burn away in sighs and waste inwardly. That would be a better death than dying by mockery, which is as bad as dying by tickling. Still, tell her of it. Hear what she will say. No. Rather, I will go to Benedick and advise him to fight against his passion. And truly, I will invent some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One never knows how much an ill word may poison affection. Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so lacking in true judgment, when she has the swift and excellent wit she is praised for, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick. He is the finest man in Italy, always excepting my dear Claudio. I pray you do not be angry with me, madam, for speaking my opinion. Signor Benedick in figure, bearing, speech, and courage is reported to stand foremost throughout Italy. Indeed, he has an excellent good name. His excellence earned it before he had it. When are you to be married, madam? Why, every day is tomorrow. Come, let us go in. I will show you some dresses, and have your advice on which is best to wear tomorrow. She is lined, I promise you. We have caught her, madam. If that proves true, then love goes by chance. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps. Hero and Ursula exit. What fire is in my ears? Can this be true? Am I condemned so much for pride and scorn? Farewell, contempt, and goodbye, maiden pride. No glory lives behind the back of such things. And Benedick, go on loving. I will answer you, taming my wild heart to your loving hand. If you love me, my kindness shall encourage you to bind our loves together in a holy bond. For others say you deserve it, and I believe it better than mere report. Beatrice exits. Don Pedro, Claudio, Benedick, and Leonato enter a room in Leonato's house. I am staying only until your marriage is completed, and then I will go on toward Aragon. I will escort you there, my lord, if you will allow me. No, that would spoil the fresh shine of your marriage as badly as showing a child his new coat, and then forbidding him to wear it. I will only presume on Benedick for company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot he is pure merriment. He has cut Cupid's bowstring 2 or 3 times, and the little executioner does not dare shoot at him. His heart is as sound as a bell, and his tongue is the clapper. Whatever his heart thinks, his tongue says. Gentlemen, I am not what I used to be. So I say too. I think you are sadder. I hope he is in love. Hang him, the deserter! There is not one true drop of blood in him that could be truly touched by love. If he is sad, he needs money. I have a toothache. Pull it out. Hang it. You must hang it first and pull it afterward. What, sighing over a toothache? When it is only some mood or a worm in the tooth. Well, every man can master a grief except the man who has it. Even so, I say he is in love. There is no sign of romantic fancy in him, unless it is a fancy for strange disguises, to be a Dutchman today, a Frenchman tomorrow, or dressed like 2 nations at once, a German from the waist down, all baggy breeches, and a Spaniard from the hip upward, with no doublet. Unless he is fond of this foolishness, as he seems to be, he is no fool for love, as you would make him appear. If he is not in love with some woman, old signs cannot be trusted. He brushes his hat in the mornings. What should that foretell? Has anyone seen him at the barber's? No, but the barber's man has been seen with him, and the old ornament of his cheek has already gone to stuffed tennis balls. Indeed, he looks younger than he did now that the beard is gone. And he rubs himself with civet perfume. Can you sniff him out by that? That is as much as saying the sweet young man is in love. The clearest sign is his melancholy. And when was he ever in the habit of washing his face? Yes, or painting himself. For that I hear what people say of him. No, but look at his joking spirit. It has crept into a lute string and is now governed by stops. Indeed, that tells a sorrowful tale for him. Conclude that he is in love. No, but I know who loves him. I would like to know that too. I warrant it is someone who does not know him. Yes, she knows him, and his bad qualities too, and in spite of all that, she is dying for him. Then she shall be buried face upward. Still, none of this cures the toothache. Old Signor, step aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to say to you, which these hobby horses must not hear. Benedick and Leonato leave. On my life, he is going to speak with him about Beatrice. That is exactly it. My now hero and Margaret have played their parts with Beatrice, and then the 2 bears will not bite each other when they meet. Don John enters. My lord and brother, God keep you. Good day, brother. If you have leisure, I would speak with you. In private. If it pleases you. Yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would say concerns him. What is the matter? Do you intend to be married tomorrow, my lord? You know he does. I do not know that, once he knows what I know. If there is any obstacle, I beg you to reveal it. You may think I do not love you. Let that appear hereafter, and judge me better by what I now reveal. As for my brother, I think he holds you dear, and out of affection has helped bring about your coming marriage, a courtship badly spent, and labor badly bestowed. Why, what is the matter? I came here to tell you, and to shorten the circumstances, since she has already been talked of too long. The lady is unfaithful. Who, hero? Yes, she, Leonato's hero, your hero, every man's hero. Unfaithful? The word is too gentle to paint her wickedness. I could call her worse. Think of a worse name, and I will fit her to it. Do not wonder until you have proof. Only come with me tonight, and you shall see someone enter her chamber window on the very night before her wedding day. If you love her, then marry her tomorrow, but it would suit your honor better to change your mind. Can this be true? I will not believe it. If you dare not trust what you see, do not claim that you know anything. If you will follow me, I will show you enough, and when you have seen more and heard more, act accordingly. If I see anything tonight that gives me reason not to marry her tomorrow, then in the congregation where I should wed her, there I will shame her. And since I wooed for you to win her, I will join with you to disgrace her. I will disparage her no further until you are my witnesses. Keep calm until midnight, and let the result show itself. O day turned so wrongly. O mischief strangely crossing us. O disaster well prevented. That is what you will say when you have seen what follows. They leave. In a street, Dogberry and Verges enter with the watch. Are you good men and honest? Yes, or else it would be a pity if they should not suffer salvation, body and soul. No, that would be too good a punishment for them, if they had any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch. Well, give them their orders, neighbor Dogberry. First, who do you think is the most undeserving man to be constable? Hugh Oakcake, sir, or George Seacole, for they can write and read. Come here, neighbor Seacole. God has blessed you with a good name. To be a handsome man is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature. Both of which, Master Constable. You have. I knew that would be your answer. Well, as for your good looks, sir, give God thanks and do not boast of them, and as for your writing and reading, let that appear when there is no need for such vanity. You are considered here the most senseless and suitable man to be constable of the watch, therefore carry the lantern. This is your charge. You are to apprehend all wandering men, and you are to order any man to stand in the prince's name. What if he will not stand? Why, then take no notice of him, but let him go, and immediately call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a rogue. If he will not stand when he is ordered, he is none of the prince's subjects. True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You shall also make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and talk is most tolerable and not to be endured. We would rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch. Why, you speak like an old and very quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend anyone. Only take care that your bills are not stolen. Well, you are to call at all the alehouses and tell those who are drunk to go to bed. What if they will not? Why then, leave them alone until they are sober. If they do not answer you better, then you may say they are not the men you took them for. Very well, sir. If you meet a thief, you may suspect him, by virtue of your office, to be no honest man, and with such kinds of men, the less you meddle or have to do with them, why, the better for your honesty. If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
And there we pause again. The lie is planted. Claudio believes he has seen Hero betray him, and means to shame her publicly rather than marry her. But all is not lost, for that very night, the bumbling town watch, the immortal Constable Dogberry and his men, have blundered into the truth without understanding a word of it. Next time, in Part 3's A Wedding That Turns to Disaster, and the most startling 2 words in the play. Mind the footnotes, and beware the folly.